Could you summarize it a little bit for those who missed the event and want to know what's happening, especially those that are in Italy or in Europe?
Um, if you are anywhere in the world and you think that, yes, because India is the world's largest democracy, the human rights abuses and the abuse against journalists is not happening, you are highly mistaken. I think the world needs to understand that journalists in India are being incarcerated, are being jailed for sedition and war against nation just for speaking the truth. Kashmiri journalists who are just reporting the everyday truth, they are being jailed. So it's a tough time. I mean, to get here, I had to get a court order, and I was still detained at court. And I'm still talking about my own privilege, and I'm a privileged journalist. I can't even begin to say what it means to be a less privileged journalist in India right now.
My question revolves around the cover article you mentioned before, the one for the Times, where you investigated on the second wave of COVID. How did you go about doing that investigation, and what have been the consequences?
So for the investigation, because I was already doing relief work, I got access to hospital. I would go to I would go to the hospital, and because we were not allowed due to COVID restrictions, so I would tell one of the janitors and all these people, sweepers and people who are working, to allow me access somehow, and just kind of go in a way that nobody would notice me. And I recorded patients and testimonies of patients and how they were dying for lack of oxygen while the Prime Minister of the country was taking election rallies with maskless people. So that was my cover story, and it was resonating all over the world. It led to discussions, and I think that's what hurt the government most, which is why it unleashed these cases against me in the last 1 year.
Do you ever feel exhausted about the burden? Do you feel a burden or a responsibility to be the voice of India?
Huge burden, and it's exhausting, which is why I arrived in Perugia 3 days ago. I mean, but I've not stepped out. I've only been sleeping because I don't have the bandwidth to kind of do anything else, and it's an exhausting thing to kind of report and do what I'm doing right now. But I'm sure, like I said, history will absolve me, and it will understand that what we are doing right now is the important thing to do.
What is next for you? What is your goal long term?
Well, my goal is to just speak the truth that people don't want to hear, and that will continue irrespective. I don't have a goal, I don't have an ambition. I could be at the cover of the New Yorker, I could be doing the biggest interviews in the world, but back in the day, I'm still a young woman, a young journalist who aspires for the very basic things in life, for the family moments, to spend time with my nephews and nieces, and that's all I crave for. No ambitions, just want the world to notice India.